Hello and welcome to lecture series on the course Differential Equation and Discrete Mathematics. We are on lecture 16 discussing chapter 2 second order linear differential equation. In this session we would discuss the general solution to homogeneous and non-homogeneous second order linear differential equation. So, the first theorem talks about the general solution to the homogeneous differential equation. So, let us start the proof. Let us see the proof for this theorem. So, first of all, we start with second order linear homogeneous differential equation y double prime plus p of x y prime plus q of x y is equal to 0. I nomenclate this as 1 and I would be using this equation in both this theorem with the same p and q. So, first theorem, suppose p and q are a continuous function on the interval I and y1 and y2 are two linearly independent solutions of 1 on the interval I, then C1 y1 plus C2 y2 is the general solution of the equation 1. What is more important over here is that y1 and y2 are not only just a solution of 1, they are linearly independent solution of 1. And so, every other solutions are represented by these two solutions y1 and y2. So, let us prove this theorem. First of all, we know that whenever y1 and y2 are any solutions to the second order linear differential equation 1, their linear combination C1 y1 plus C2 y2 is also a solution of the second order differential equation. Now, to prove that it is a general solution, only thing we need to show that any solution of the second order differential equation 1 can be represented as C1 y1 plus C2 y2 for some suitable value C1 and C2. So, let us start with any solution of equation 1. So, let y be any solution of 1. So, our claim y should be equal to C1 y1 plus C2 y2 for certain values C1 and C2. Now, how do we get this task done is by using the uniqueness and existence theorem. How do we do that? Let us see. So, we assume that y is any solution of 1 and now we use the fact that y1 and y2 are the solution, the linear combination is also solution to of the equation 1. So, since y1 and y2 are solutions of 1, C1 y1 plus C2 y2 is also solution of 1 for all C1 C2, for all C1 C2, but we want to show that there exists some C1 and C2 such that this y can be written as C1 y1 plus C2 y2. Okay. Now, to prove that, what we will do is that, so we have here two solutions y and this C1 y1 plus C2 y2. What we need to show is that what we would be doing is that we would be showing that there exists C1 and C2 such that this y and this function C1 y1 plus C2 y2, I would consider this as one function, they satisfy at a point x naught as well as they satisfy at certain point x naught as well as the derivative satisfy at the same point x naught in I. So, once I accomplish that result, now I can, now here the existence and uniqueness come into the picture. How is that? So, that would says that this two solution will not satisfy only at a point x naught. So, in fact, it has to satisfy on the whole interval I, and that is why we can say then y is equal to C 1 y 1 plus C 2 y 2 on the whole interval I for certain value of C 1 and C 2. So, that is the whole idea, and so we need to consider the system. So, first we fix a point. So, fix x naught in I. So, we will prove that there exists C 1 comma C 2 such that y of x naught, okay, says that I would say y and C 1 y 1 plus C 2 y 2 and their derivatives agree or satisfy at x naught. So, for that we would consider this system. So, consider the system. So, we show that the system, okay, now what is that system that we derived from here? So, first we need to compare this y at x naught with C 1 y 1 of x naught plus C 2 y 2 of x naught. So, we would have C 1 y 1 of x naught plus C 2 y 2 of x naught is equal to y of x naught. So, that is the first equation, first linear equation in this system, and the second its derivative. So, the derivative of this C 1 y 1 plus C 2 y 2 at x naught would be same as C 1 y 1 prime of x naught plus C 2 y 2 prime of x naught is equal to the derivative of y is y prime of x naught. I will consider this as star. So, we want to show that the system of this two simultaneous equation in star in two unknowns C 1 comma C 2 have unique solution. So, that is what is more important. Here we are solving this for C 1 and C 2, and we would prove that this has a unique solution, but that follows directly from the fact that this y 1 and y 2 are linearly independent solutions. So, we need to use a certain matrix algebra, the properties of matrix algebra over here. We have a system of non-homogeneous system of equation, and in this case this system is going to have a unique solution provided the augmented matrix, the rank of the augmented matrix over here would be same as the rank of the coefficient matrix, that is same as the number of unknowns. Now, in this case the number of unknown is equal to 2, and so we are expecting to have the determinant, we want the determinant of this coefficient matrix, that is y 1 of x naught, y 2 of x naught, y 1 prime of x naught, y 2 prime of x naught to be non-zero, so that its rank become 2, because it is a 2 cross 2 matrix, and that directly follows from the y 1 and y 2 being linearly independent on I. So, we write, since y 1 and y 2 are linearly independent on I, they are Wronskian at every point on I would be non-zero, and so in particular Wronskian at x naught is also non-zero. That is, this Wronskian is nothing but y1 at x naught, y2 at x naught, y1 prime at x naught, y2 prime at x naught. This is non-zero. So, now if you see this determinant is exactly the coefficient determinant of a coefficient matrix that is present in this system star. And so, we see that the rank of this matrix have to be equal to 2, as the determinant is non-zero, and in fact, it is an invertible matrix. So, and if you see the augmented matrix, so if this rank is non-zero, then it's the rank of the augmented matrix trivially have to be if the rank of this matrix is 2, then the rank of the augmented matrix trivially have to be equal to 2, even if they are equal to 0. So, in that case what will happen is that the rank of this matrix augmented rank of the coefficient matrix will be same as the rank of the augmented matrix, which is equal to 2, which is the number of unknowns, and therefore, this system has a unique solution in C1 and C2. That is same as saying that this system is solvable for C1 and C2. We can find unique C1 and C2. So, and we know that this 2y this 2 function y and C1 y1 plus C2 y2 satisfy at the point x naught, and their derivative also satisfy at the point x naught. So, therefore, this 2 function have to satisfy on the whole I by existence and uniqueness theorem. So, first we make a statement, thus the system star from here, thus the system star have an unique solution unique solution and that is enough. So, that is same as saying we can find such C1 and C2, and so by existence and uniqueness theorem we have this 2 function C1 y1 of x plus C2 y2 of x, this function and y of x, this will not satisfy only at the point x naught, but this is going to satisfy now on the whole I. Okay, and that proves our the result. So, any function, this y is in fact in any arbitrary function. So, we have proved that that can be written as C1 y1 plus C2 y2 for some arbitrary value C1 and C2. Okay, and the usual notation for this is always yg, which we write it as yg of x comma this C1 and C2 that is appearing. Okay. So, this is the standard notation for the general solution of a homogeneous differential equation, and it is also used to find the solution of the non-homogeneous differential equation. So, that is the next theorem. So, if yg of x comma C1 comma C2 is the general solution of the homogeneous second order linear differential equation 1, the above one, with p and q being continuous on the interval I, and if yp is any particular solution of non-homogeneous equation y double prime plus p of x y dash plus q of x y is equal to r of x. See, this basically this homogeneous equation is associated to this non-homogeneous equation. You can see the equation 1 is exactly have the same expression on the left hand side, only thing r of x is equal to 0, making it an homogeneous equation. So, this homogeneous equation is with related to this the solution of this homogeneous equation is correspondence to this non-homogeneous equation that we have. So, what we are saying is that if yg is the solution of this this corresponding homogeneous equation, that is by putting r of x is equal to 0, then and if yp is any particular solution, that is one fixed solution of this non-homogeneous equation, then its general solution is nothing but the sum of this particular solution and the general solution of homogeneous equation. So, this is a general solution of homogeneous equation corresponding to equation 2, okay, and that's how we find out the general solution of this equation 2. Now, this, what do you mean by saying a particular solution? It's a solution, it's a function which satisfy this given equation. So, it is one fixed solution. So, the proof for this is again trivial, it's deduced from the previous theorem proof for this. So, I will start again by any solution of this equation 2. So, let y be any solution of 2. So, that is the second equation, and I am going to show that this y is nothing but yg plus yp plus yg x comma c1 comma c2. Now, there is a very simplest method to solve this. You know what I will show is that I will show that y minus yp is the solution to the homogeneous differential equation, and therefore, this y minus yp should be written in the form of c1 y1 plus c2 y2, right. That is exactly your that is exactly the general solution. So, therefore, yc minus yp should be equal to some general solution, I mean the general solution for some values c1 and c2, and therefore, y have to be equal to yp plus yg. So, that is the idea to prove this theorem. So, we proceed. So, I will write down the claim here. We want to show that this y is equal to yp plus yg of x comma c1 comma c2 for some c1 comma c2 in R. Now, this we accomplish by showing that y minus yp is the general solution of equation 1. So, how do we do that? So, first we use the fact, I am assuming that y is any solution. So, since y is solution of 2, it should satisfy the equation 2. We have what is that equation 2? Y double dash plus p of x y dash plus q of x y is equal to, this y is actually this y, okay, is equal to r of x, because it is a solution to equation 2. I will call this as equation 1. Now, again we know that yp is a given particular solution is particular solution. So, particular solution basically solution independent of any arbitrary constant, particular solution of 2. So, we have again the same equation, but instead of y you will have now yp. Okay, this notation is I mean we can consider as a standard notation for a particular solution. Okay, now it is very simple. If you just subtract this either 1 minus 2 or 2 minus 1, you will see that the right hand side will be equal to 0, and so the difference is, I mean you see which function will satisfy that homogeneous equation. So, I would prefer 1 minus 2 implies that, okay, first expression will be y double prime minus yp prime yp double prime. Second one, p of x is common, you get y dash minus yp dash or yp prime plus q of x y minus yp, and this is r of x minus r of x, that is 0. And so, you get, okay, now with the basic differentiation technique, I can write down this as y minus yp the whole second derivative plus p of x y minus yp and its first derivative, and this term as it is y minus yp is equal to 0. So, you see that this y minus yp satisfies the homogeneous equation 1, and therefore, I can say that y minus yp is a solution of 1, the homogeneous differential equation. And from the previous result, this y minus yp should be able to write down as a general, should be deduced from the general solution for certain C1 and C2, okay, for some C1 and C2, and from here we deduce that y is equal to yg plus yp, or yp plus yg, and that is a theorem. So, we would have one example. Show that y is equal to C1 x plus C2 x square is a general solution of this equation x square y double dash minus 2 x y dash plus 2 y is equal to 0 on any interval not containing 0, not containing the origin, and find the particular solution given y of 1 3 is equal to y prime of 1 is equal to 5. Now, this equation is not in the required form. So, I would put this in the required form, that is making the coefficient of y double dash is equal to 1. So, you have 2 by x y prime plus 2 by x square y is equal to 0, and this is the reason why we want that any interval not containing the origin, because at origin this function p of x and q of x will not be defined. So, in this case p of x is nothing but minus 2 by x and q of x is equal to 2 by x square. Okay, now, to show that this is the general solution, first we would strictly follow the theorem. We need to show that this is continuous, and from the algebraic expression this is of the form p by q and both are continuous on the interval not containing 0. So, therefore, I can directly write are continuous. In fact, they are continuous at everywhere on R except at 0, which is not included in I, are continuous on any interval I not containing 0. Fine. So, now we need to find the general solution. Okay, we need to actually show that this is the general solution of this equation 1. So, this is of the form C1 some function plus C2 into some function. Okay. So, only thing we need to show that you can identify what are the two functions that are involved over here. It is of the form C1 y1 plus C2 y2. So, y1 of x can be considered as x and y2 of x can be considered as x square. Since we want to show that this is a general solution to the homogeneous equation, first thing we need to show that this x and x square satisfies this given differential equation, and secondly we need to show that they are linearly independent solution. So, now verifying, I would leave it to you, verify that y1 of x is equal to x and y2 of x is equal to x square are solution of, I will call this as 1 of given equation 1. Now, to show that they are linearly independent, we just need to check their Wronskian. So, Wronskian of y1 comma y2 at any point x, this is same as x square, then this is same as 1 to x, and that is same as in this case it will be 2 x square minus x square. So, x square. So, this will never be equal to 0 because we are not, it is equal to 0 only at x equal to 0, but that point is not considered. So, this is never equal to 0 on an interval not containing 0. Okay, and therefore, I can say that thus, that is enough to show, because this is an if and only x and x square are the solution, and this is an equivalent statement which we have proved. Thus, y1 and y2 are linearly independent on any interval not containing zero, and that is enough to say by the previous theorem. Thus, general solution of 1 is given by y is equal to C1 y1 plus C2 y2, that is y of x is equal to C1 x plus C2 x square. So, that is a proof. Okay. So with this I end up this session. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day ahead.